The first government shutdown since 2013. How it'll affect people in San Antonio and how long it's expected to last. State representatives weigh in.
Plus,
the far-reaching effects of the government shutdown you may not have considered. The surprise some locals and tourists got this afternoon.
and
1 year later, women across the country gather for more marches, a progress report for the movement, and a look ahead.
this is San Antonio's Fox News at 9.
We're not stopping.
Hundreds of thousands of activists gathered in cities across America today for the first anniversary of that mass women's march that sparked a movement across the globe. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Darian Trotter. We'll get to that story in a moment.
We do some crazy things in Washington, but this is utter madness.
For the first time in 4.5 years, the government shuts down after Congress failed to reach a deal to pass a spending bill by midnight last night. First on Fox, we are nearly 24 hours into that government shutdown. Tonight, many are wondering what happens next. Our Renee Santos has been following the latest developments on this all day. She joins us live with more. Renee.
Darian, all day it's been back and forth between the Democrats and the Republicans, and one of the many issues at the center of this government shutdown is DACA and protecting the so-called dreamers from being deported.
The A's are 50 and the A's are 49.
Congress is now working to negotiate a funding deal, trying to reopen the government just hours after it shut down.
Hopefully we can resolve this and make sure we get back to the negotiating table and talking about issues in a bipartisan way going into the future.
Congressman Will Hurd says there are a lot of federal employees in his district who are now dealing with a lot of uncertainty. Some of the issues surrounding this government shutdown include children's health insurance, military spending, immigration, and DACA.
I want to secure the border. I want to protect the dreamers. I want to make sure we don't shut down the government. That's why I voted yes, because I think it's wrong for either party to close the government. But let's get this thing working. The people don't care who gets credit, who gets the blame. All they want is Congress to do its job, and I agree with the American public.
Right now, Democratic lawmakers say they will only give enough votes to reopen the government if a deal can be reached on DACA. Congressman Henry Cuellar says he would like to see DACA go to a vote. So far, it hasn't, leaving thousands of dreamers still in limbo. Now, Congress still has until March to reach a deal on DACA. Meantime, this shutdown is expected to last through the weekend. I'm told congressional leaders will meet again on Monday. Darian?
All right, thanks a lot, Renee. As the shutdown continues, hundreds of thousands of federal jobs will be affected. Agencies including Customs and Border Protection, the TSA, and the Coast Guard will all shrink in size. And active duty military personnel might see their paychecks delayed. But the unaffected services will be Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. Those checks will still be sent out and the Department of Veterans Affairs will operate normally. Some of the greatest historic landmarks are being impacted by the government shutdown, and as our Adam King shows us, tourism is taking a hit from the indecision in Washington.
All the good stuff is inside. There's nothing else to see out here.
Words from visitors. Tina and Tony Siebert from Wisconsin. Their vacation stopped at the information office door at Mission Concepcion, another victim of the government shutdown. They were left with one word to describe it.
Disappointing. Yeah, I mean, we couldn't get in to see anything. We went to the information building and it was locked. I guess I thought, well, we can still look around and we don't need anybody to tell us what we're looking at, and all the doors were locked.
Father David Garcia, the director for the Old Spanish Missions of San Antonio, he says churches are still open for services, masses, and weddings. Apart from that, no one around but disappointed visitors and security. Even bathroom doors remaining closed and locked, not just at Mission Concepcion, but at San Jose as well.
The bus driver wasn't sure if this would be open, and he said if this one isn't open, then the other ones probably won't be either.
From adults on vacations to Cub Scouts hiking the Mission Trail through Concepcion to the Alamo, everyone trying to make the most of a less than ideal situation.
It is a good teaching opportunity about the government and how it works, how it's funded, and how the budget process and the politics that are involved.
One thing everyone has in common, the desire to end the shutdown soon.
We'll just hope for the best, but there might be some extra studying to learn about this on their own.
Hopefully they're open by Monday before we have to go back home.
Reporting downtown, Adam King, Fox News at 9.
And the federal government has shut down 18 times in the last 4 decades. The last time was in October of 2013 under President Barack Obama. That shutdown was led by Speaker John Boehner, and he and House Republicans wanted to lower levels of non-essential spending. And conservatives demanded that any funding bill delay Obamacare by 1 year. Finally, after 16 days, the standoff ended by passing a funding bill that most Republicans opposed.
Yo hablo de todo.
These are images from San Antonio's Women's March. This is the nation's second annual Women's March. And there have been major demonstrations across the nation, including here in San Antonio. Protesters took to the streets in New York City, as well as in the nation's capital and dozens of other cities. Caroline Shively is in Washington with the latest.
But this year's theme is Power to the Polls, to get more women running for office. Take a look at the crowd. Thousands of people with signs, those famous pink hats, and plenty of enthusiasm. They rallied at the National Mall and then marched to the White House.
I'm here because I have to be. Things have gotten way worse than I ever thought that they would, and I'm afraid that our government's being eroded, and all the rights that I think a lot of us have taken for granted over the years need to be protected.
Democratic members of Congress addressed the crowd, asking them to vote President Trump out of office in 2020 and promote more women candidates.
1 year ago, millions of women and the men and children who have their backs marched around the world to send this message. Women deserve to be heard. Women deserve to be respected. Women deserve to lead.
President Trump tweeted during the rally saying in part, quote, "Beautiful weather all over our great country, a perfect day for all women to march." In that same tweet, President Trump said it is the lowest level of female unemployment in 18 years. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
A drug deal takes a turn for worse. New details in the deadly case and the charges a 19-year-old in custody now faces.
Plus,
shot and killed in cold blood. How the community is now banding together to help the family of the father of 4.
And
speaking out against injustice and inequality. The panel discussion geared toward empowerment.
And areas of dense fog already developing around the area, and that'll be the trend as we go towards tomorrow morning, just like we had this morning. But a cold front's on the way. When will that arrive and clear out this moisture? I'll let you know coming up.
Almost a month away from March Madness, but crazy finishes on the hardwood today. Basketball from high school to the college ranks in action tonight. Plus, changes coming to the Houston Texans coaching staff. We have the latest later on Maximum Sports.
You're watching Fox News at 9.
Welcome back. State Senator Jose Menendez hosted a panel discussion. As an official Dream Week event, the panel discussed empowering each other and speaking out against injustices and inequality. They also covered topics that include finding solutions to community concerns. Let's go out live now to the historic Charlene McCombs Empire Theater for the inaugural Mayor's Ball. This ball concludes Dream Week. This celebration highlights San Antonio's diverse culture with belly dancing, ballet, even a drag show. Some of San Antonio's best DJs also are out on hand, showing everyone a good time. Boy, so they've done it right. They're staying indoors.
Exactly.
It's been a little drizzly and a little
foggy,
yeah.
And wet roadways.
And more on the way.
Already developing down on the south side, quarter-mile visibility, and that's going to spread across the area. It's because moisture coming in off the Gulf of Mexico, but we do have a cold front out towards the west, swinging in our direction. But for now, temperatures are much warmer than what they've been. Look at the temperatures out there right now. We're starting with temperatures around the 55-degree mark for this hour, and they're not going to drop off much. We'll talk about the fog coming up after the break.
This is Fox News at 9.
19-year-old Joseph Hernandez has been charged with capital murder in connection with what investigators are now calling a drug deal gone bad. He was walked in front of our camera last night. Wednesday night, authorities were called to a home on Invitation Oak near Bent Grass on the far north side. 54-year-old Jose Cintron was dead at the scene. Investigators say Hernandez was buying marijuana at the home when a fight broke out and he shot Cintron and another man. The other victim survived his injuries. And police arrested 26-year-old Frankie Renee Esparza for allegedly raping a 14-year-old girl nearly 3 years ago. According to the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, Esparza approached the girl who was waiting for her parents in a theater lobby. Authorities say Esparza followed her to an apartment complex bench and sexually assaulted her there. DNA from the victim's rape kit matched Esparza, leading officials to issue a warrant for his arrest. And police are looking for new leads to help find whoever murdered a well-known East Side chef. Lonnie Franklin was gunned down in his own driveway on Belinda Lee near W.W. White. Franklin worked nearby as a head chef at Fort Sam Houston. His roommate hopes to get answers for Lonnie's children. He held a fundraiser, and all proceeds will go to Lonnie's children. If you know anything about the crime and can help track down the killer, call Crime Stoppers at 210-224-STOP. Tonight, a concert was held benefiting relief efforts in Puerto Rico. The event was hosted by the nonprofit performing group Musical Bridges Around the World. We're told 100% of proceeds will go to the storm-ravaged island.
Now, first warning weather with meteorologist Robert Luna.
Well, we're seeing some temperatures out there in the 50s out there. Eastern areas seeing the clouds out in the western areas. Lots of sunshine today as they saw some clearing skies, drier conditions out there, but still temperatures holding in the mid-60s. Rock Springs did manage to hit the 70-degree mark this afternoon, and we do have some humid air coming in off the Gulf of Mexico. And as that warm air comes in, well, it's creating some different situations out there. A lot of fog out there as well. So as that happens, we're going to see some different things. So I'm going to go check this map because I think it's happening exactly what happened yesterday to Alex. And let me just check here because I don't know. Here it is. Hopefully this will work. There it is. World Car Weather Cam. So hopefully this will lock it up. But looking at our eastern zones out there, Gonzales seeing mostly cloudy skies, but no fog here. But just to the north, up in New Braunfels, quarter-mile visibility up there. And here in San Antonio, 7-mile visibility. But just to the west, 1.25 visibility here in Castroville with the fog. But we do have that southeasterly wind coming in, and that's going to cause some good fog to develop even all the way to Del Rio to see the southeasterly wind out there. But we are monitoring cold front, and as these dew points get closer to the temperature, a lot of widespread fog, so expect some dense fog advisories to be issued by the morning hours with that drizzle and fog. But here's the clouds right now. They were in and out. We saw a few peaks of sunshine during the afternoon hours, but these clouds will become widespread. You already see them spreading towards the west out there, and as it goes through the nighttime hours, even by midnight, drizzle and fog developing. Here's our forecast specifically as we go through tonight. Temperatures pretty much holding steady right where they're at, 52 degrees. Drizzle and fog, south winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. And here's what's going to be happening. Some showers, especially ahead of the front, developing pretty much from areas around Hondo and points eastward. Could see about 1/10 of an inch of rainfall. Just a little bit of drizzle out towards the west. But here comes the front. The front will be monitoring that around the noon hour out towards Del Rio. It'll be coming through San Antonio around the evening hour, right around sunset, 6 p.m. There goes the rain, the clouds with it. Behind it, a northwesterly wind. It's going to clear out the clouds, and Monday will be beautiful out there. Lots of sunshine, gorgeous conditions, temperatures in the 60s. Drier conditions mean cooler nights and mild afternoons. But that wind behind it has been so dry around here, we could see some higher fire danger around here, especially on Monday with those 10 to 20 mile an hour winds and very dry conditions. So lots of sunshine as we go into the early part of the work week. So tomorrow morning, drizzle and fog, 52 degrees. By the noon hour, 65 degrees, and then a 40% chance of showers. Wouldn't surprise me if out in the eastern areas, maybe a thunderstorm possible, and 71 degrees. As that happens, then here comes the 7-day forecast. We're going to clear out that moisture Sunday night. Monday, Tuesday, lots of sunshine, highs in the 60s, but we're going to see cooler temperatures. No freezes expected. This will be our coolest temperature at 36 degrees. And then middle part of the work week, still lots of sunshine. More clouds return by the end of the work week. 20-30% chance of rain, highs in the 60s, lows in the 40s, but all in all, be very careful out there with the fog developing. Very slick roadways tomorrow morning once again.
All right, Robert, thanks. Not a bad looking forecast for January. Well, TV has a new highest paid actress, and Kim and Kanye welcome their third child. Circa's Cheryl Lazar takes a look back at the biggest pop culture stories of the week.
Hey, it's Shira Lazar from Circa Pop Live, and here's your pop culture wrap-up of the week. In movie news, Scarlett Johansson is finally getting her own Marvel movie. Fans of the Avengers got their wish after Marvel announced plans for a Black Widow standalone movie, making this the second female-led flick from the comic studio. In TV news, Ellen Pompeo has become the highest-paid woman on television. The Grey's Anatomy star will pull in a whopping $20 million with her new 2-year contract after starring on the show for 14 years. In music news, Justin Timberlake says that he has made peace with Janet Jackson after their famous wardrobe malfunction at the Super Bowl. When asked by Beats One if they were able to resolve the situation, Timberlake said absolutely, putting to rest the 2004 controversy before he takes the halftime stage again this February. In celebrity news, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West have welcomed baby number 3. Their second daughter was delivered via surrogate on January 15th at 12:47 a.m., but no word on a name yet. For the latest stories in pop culture, be sure to check out Circa Pop Live, 6 p.m. Eastern to 3 p.m. Pacific, weekdays, only on circa.com.
Today, Samuel Clemens hosted an open house in honor of the high school's 50th anniversary. The ceremony celebrated the sense of community built over the past 5 decades. Our very own Ashley King was honored as one of the school's distinguished alumni. I don't see her in the video, but congratulations, Ashley King. Highlighting STEM stars of San Antonio, the Texas Computer Education Association held a robotics contest today. Teams were made up of students in grades 4 through 12. They competed for a spot in the state finals, that's in April. 2 categories were problem solving, the other invention. Coming up, a look through different lenses, the innovative way NASA plans to cut costs. Plus, the new policy one airline is launching that could involve your 4-legged family member.
This week on Full Measure, the president and the press. In the Trump era, it's a strained relationship like we've never seen before. We look back on journalism mistakes in year 1 of Trump's presidency and how the media became a big part of the story. Plus, the UK weighs a drastic step to stop terror attacks. We examine a proposal to arrest people who engage with terrorist content by viewing it on the web. And studying for up to 15 hours a day, 7 days a week. A report from South Korea on extreme tutoring and how it could be harming students. Those stories and more this week on Full Measure.
This is San Antonio's Fox News at 9.
There's 3D printed food, toys, and even guns. And now there's a 3D printed rocket engine part. NASA is cutting costs by using 3D printing. The agency is testing a new component on what it says will be the most powerful rocket ever made. The part is printed using a metal-based powder and laser. It takes 3 weeks to make compared to a year. This reduces the cost of building parts for the RS-25 engines, which were used during the Space Shuttle program. Delta Airlines wants to know, can your pet behave before it flies? The airline says it will now require owners' assurance that their pets are trained to behave before flying in the passenger cabin. Delta says complaints about animal behavior have nearly doubled since 2016. Starting in March, owners will have to show proof of vaccinations at least 48 hours before a flight and sign a statement vouching for their animal's behavior. The playoff push begins today in high school basketball. John has scores and highlights. That's coming up in Max Sports. But next, she's celebrating her 100th birthday, what she says contributed to her longevity.
You're watching Fox News at 9.
Welcome back, and Robert Luna is back with a final look at weather.
And the good news is we got rid of the cedar, if you can believe that, even if it's just for maybe 1 or 2 days. But the mold's still out there, it's heavy. But mountain cedar is at 0, but do expect it to come back as we go in towards Monday as we get that northwesterly wind. Tomorrow, drizzle and fog, 52 degrees. By the afternoon, a warm 71, 72 degrees. Chance of rain, but then we'll clear things out. And that 7-day forecast, look at all that sunshine for the work week. It is going to be a beautiful week ahead.
Thanks a lot, Robert. Well, we want to wish a happy birthday to one special lady. She is 100 years young today. Josephine Aurora was born here in San Antonio in 1918. She was a wave nurse for the Navy and served in World War II and earned a Victory Medal. She was married for 60 years and has 4 children, 9 grandchildren, and 11 great-grandchildren. We asked her secret. She says she eats well and plays bingo. Happy birthday.
Bingo. That's the
Hey,
key. That's the
who
key to
knew?
a long life.
Who knew?
I guess so. Busy day today in sports, especially with basketball going on. For anyone who hasn't been paying attention, it's basketball season. It is here. It is in full swing this weekend. We go around the city for some crucial high school basketball games. A district lead on the line in District 26 6A. Highlights and scores a little bit later. Plus, we check out the college basketball action today. Upsets, buzzer beaters, and overtime. We'll get updated on all the big games today and changes coming to the Houston Texans coaching staff. That's next on Maximum Sports.